Hi everyone, my apologies straight up for the radio silence of the last couple of days. It's been wild, been an incredible TT. Doing this one from inside the RI tent here at the Isle of Man TT. Thanks to the guys for looking after my helmet as always. It's beautifully prepared, as you can see. Never has any bugs on it. Gets it all nice and clean. Yeah, thank you RI and all the sponsors that are on this helmet. As you can see, you're very much appreciated. Okay, a lot to catch up on. Okay, so since the last time I spoke to you guys was basically when I changed teams. Things were looking good. Got on the BMW for the first time. Just fell in love with it, honestly. Yeah, just love the bike. Beautiful motorcycle. Pretty much a standard bike, honestly. Like, it doesn't have a lot of stuff going on. It's not like it's got this highly tuned engine or anything like that. Very similar geometry to standard as well. It's got Batubo suspension. That's really it. Like, yeah, it's got a tune and that's it. 208 horsepower on the dyno. Happy days. So yeah, did the first run on Friday, and that one was to get into the race itself. Got 3 laps down, so just scraped in by the skin of my teeth. Qualified on a 1:19.8, and that got us into the race for, I think it was Sunday. It was our first race. Yeah, we had Saturday off. But it was a great race, but unfortunately the bike stopped again. Well, first time on the bike, and hopefully the only time on that bike. On the 5th lap, I was really starting to feel it. It was starting to click off the lap, starting to catch people, really starting to gel with the bike. And then unfortunately we had a diagnostic wire fall down the back of the bike, and it hit the rear wheel a couple of times, and eventually it wore through the insulation, shorted it out, blew the fuse, and it was honestly like somebody had just pulled the plug out of the television. You're watching and it's all great, and then game over. Yeah, that really sucked. These things happen at the TT. The TT is such a brutal event for the motorcycles. Like, you can't believe the forces that go through these things. It's amazing any of them make it to the finish at all. So anyway, we found the problem. We went back over the bike. The boys in the Kibosh team just sorted it all out, got it all good. And then yesterday we had the Superstock race and got a finish. Finally managed to cross over the line. 34th place, started 49th. So I was pretty happy with that. Managed to make up quite a few positions. Everything was flowing nicely. The speed started to go up. I think my fastest lap was a 1:21.5, and really starting to love that thing. I've nicknamed it the Big Red Cadillac. The Honda felt like a bit of a snappy little sports car. This is the big old red caddy, and it just sort of keeps chugging along like a big old train. Really pleased with it. It's such a lovely bike to ride, and the TT course really sort of came to me, I guess, in that regard, and was feeling wonderful. Everything was really good yesterday. We came back, watched the Super Twins race from the balcony or on the deck at the house, and that was, yeah, I mean, that gives you a completely different perspective of the race, really. Like, when you see it from that side as a spectator, you're like, wow, this is really nuts. This is pretty crazy. We unfortunately lost a brother last night, Raul Torres Martinez. He was a guy who I actually raced quite closely last year in Supersport. He and I had a couple of good battles. He dropped me in the first race last year. He came past us and just blew the doors off us and cleared off into the distance. And last year I was right behind him across the mountain, and he got me at Ramsey Hairpin, and I went, "You're not getting away from me this time." He managed to keep with him, but unfortunately Raul crashed at Alpine last night. A very fast section of the circuit, very tree lined. It's actually right at the point, oddly enough, where my bike conked out in the Superbike race just before Balaf Bridge. There's not a lot of things you can say in that regard. It's the dangers of the TT, but you also, when things are going well at this place, you can kind of fall into a bit of a false sense of security, and it's a reminder that this place has the sharpest teeth of any racetrack anywhere in the world. Raul was an incredibly experienced, very competent racer. I'm not going to speculate on what happens. It's not my place to say. But needless to say, it really knocked the wind out of our sails last night. Everything was, we all had some smiles, everything was going great. And unfortunately, Raul's gone to a different place. So all we can do is, race on in his memory, make him proud, because I know that he would want us to keep going. He was a racer through and through. He loved the TT. He loved road racing. Was a spectacular rider. Lovely man. And it's really sad. So now we have today off, tomorrow off. I say off. There's still so much stuff to do because we have a racing team, but it's much more us doing the work, which makes for a better story, I've got to say, as far as the TT goes. Tomorrow I really want to have a rest day. I actually chose not to do the warm-up lap today. I just want to give the brain a bit of a rest. Just try and I really needed to catch up on sleep. I haven't had a decent night's sleep since I've been here. Last night I finally managed to get one. So now feeling pretty good. Got a bit of work to do, but that's basically it so far, guys. And, there's been so much that's happened. On track stuff though, we're feeling pretty good. Anyway, that's the update for now. I'll make sure that I check in after the Super Stock race coming up. That's on Friday. But thank you to everyone that's helped out. I actually have the sponsors here. So Moto Geo, Jamie Robinson's Moto Geo, fantastic YouTube channel if you ever want to get excited about riding motorbikes. Strider Bikes here. Strider Bikes produce fantastic balance bikes and junior bicycles for kids to get them all excited about riding. Cycle News, best job in the world. Thank you very much, guys. Arroy Helmets. Thanks for the best helmets in the world, Arroy. The service you guys have provided, the TT and everything else is just fantastic. Thank you so much. Got to give a shout out to Defy All Odds as well. This is James Rispoli and Corey Alexander, Moto America legends. This is their little side project. So if you ever need some kick-ass gear, go and check out Defy All Odds. Alpine Stars, Metzler, like all the guys. So head's a bit scrambled at the moment, got a lot of stuff to do, so going to go and get stuck into it. I hope you've been enjoying these vlogs updates. I know they haven't been as regular as what I did last year, but I've been so much more busy this year. It's going to make for a hell of a story, don't you worry. But thanks very much for all the support, as always. It is enormously appreciated. And we'll check back in soon. All right, guys, thanks very much.